Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Dear Rebelli, even on vacation, the daf must go on. My husband Perry started learning with you Masechta Sukkah and hasn't stopped, Baruch Hashem. We have seen tremendous bracha and hatzlacha, and most of all, our shalom bayis is so much better. There's a newfound mutual respect. Some people say that the daf is like anti-women. I don't know, like all the jokes and no, mutual respect, more shalom bayis. Every time I see Rebelli on the screen, I feel a huge smile in my heart. Thank you for your tireless devotion. Please know how much you are appreciated and respected by our entire family. Continue hatzlacha in all you do, Ahuva Dubinsky and family. The other day, I mentioned that my second cousin, Eli Stefansky, Zechurah Levracha, was nifted at a very, very young age, early 40s probably. And he was my first mentor in real estate. So I hung out with him for many, many hours back in the day when I first got married. So I mentioned that his almana, Shani Stefansky, opened up an organization. If you had to guess, how many almanas are there in Klal Yisrael right now? If you had to guess, how many are part of her organization? I don't know how many almanas. How many almanas in her organization? Take a wild guess.
12,000.
No, 3,000. 3,000 almanas. I'm so touched that you mentioned us in your shir. I'll start by saying how proud we are to be related to the Eli Stefansky. As you said, we are no longer asked if we're related to the tuna fish, but are you related to the Eli Stefansky? So, Samchenu started, the name of the organization, Samchenu started out as a Keren Zichron Aryeh. We have 3,000 gulp members in the US. We have changed the lives of these women. Our program includes 2 yearly Shabbatons. 2 yearly Shabbatons. I know what a Shabbaton is. A lot of work. 5 overnight midweek retreats. Zoom and in-person events. Chanukah and Purim parties. Yontav stipends and gifts. Vouchers for the kids for new shoes. A mentoring program. Community resources for helping a widow. The list is much longer. You can check us out in your spare time at samchenu.org. You would appreciate hearing about my personal experiences in the video. A woman wrote to me recently, "You are my safety net and happiness. With all that's happening in my life, you're a shining light of acceptance and support. Thank you for the silk flower arrangement for my birthday. There'll be a constant reminder for your wonderful organization." What's even more amazing that your shir is the only place I would want to hear mention of us. We purposely stay off social media and out of magazines. I don't want our members to suffer the indignity of seeing themselves as the object of fundraising. They see Samchenu as man from Shamayim. They don't think about the money part. That's how I want it. But you're speaking to a group that definitely includes 0 almanas. Because we're all men. Actually, yeah, we do have an almana. Yep, at least one that I know of. All right? But she's engaged now. Oh, so she's not on a...
It's a gula to what? Come to get married.
If anyone wants to donate, they can do so on our website, samchenu.org. Donate. As well through the Donors Fund. Tiskal Mitzvahs and best regards, Shani Stefansky Waldman. I haven't seen her in years, but I knew her very well back then. And it's amazing. Again, Nachamal, one person, she by herself, she became an almana, so she said, let me open up her. She helps 3,000 almanas, one individual. So I hear about this organization all the time. A lot of people told me about this. So I received a bunch of different emails. There was a mention yesterday about a book. Our school asked Reb Nachman. So Lauren, you got it wrong, I think. I think Nachman's right about holding off for now on a book about you. It was me that's holding off. Reb Nachman wants to write it. I said not, and my wife didn't like the idea. But incredible here, because over the next 20 years, there'll be so much more to write. But Incredible Eli 2 won't be as good as Incredible Eli 1. Best to wait 20 years and make it one awesome book. Respectfully, Lauren Spiegelman.
Kvad Rav, it's Yankel Kirshner from Shkolum Daf Yud. You don't understand. Your wife really wants you to write the book. Just like when you're driving on the highway and you don't want your kid to look outside the right window, you can't say don't look at the right side because then the kids are going to look at the right. So if you say don't look at the left, then the kids are going to look at the left, and let's say they don't see the schmutz in Manhattan, so the Shmiras Hanayim is okay. your wife really, she knows that you're not going to do anything that she says yeah to, any type of deal. So when she says don't write the book, in her mind you think now I'm going to write the book. So she's getting her way. She really wants you to write the book. Just like if she would say write the book, you wouldn't write the book because you have to do it fakert what she says. So when she says don't write the book, you have to know to write the book. Kultiv hatzlacha Rabba, I can't wait to read it.
So yeah, Lauren speaking of can't wait to burn it. No, 20 years. I know Lauren. Yom Boys. Hi Rebelli. I'm a bocher in yeshiva in Neve Yaakov Yerushalayim. I've written to you before. I've been learning for almost a year now, since Chof Cheshvan, and haven't missed a day. Really enjoy the shir. I'm writing because my friend Shiki met you at a chasana this evening and kissed your hand, and you gave him a bracha that you should get married. I got special permission from my Rosh Yeshiva to watch the shir on Yeshiva's computer during Ben Azdarim. My mother is very proud and has lots of nachas for my dedication to the learning. Okay, this is a good one over here. Oi, I forgot to put in that. Okay, there's a picture. Rosh Yeshiva just sent me a picture he took of a bacher in his yeshiva learning the daf. So I'll show that tomorrow, Be'ez Hashem. Adir Farbman. Good morning. As you requested, here's a screenshot of my chavrusa and I every day holding each other accountable and texting each other when we had completed that day's daf. It really does work. One guy, two people, chavrusa. There are many times when both of us fall behind, and because of this system, we make sure to catch up. My chavrusa, Shimshi Klein, inspires me. He never did the daf before I introduced him to Yeshir. He's a very busy person, a real tzaddik bal chesed with a heart of gold and a devoted hatzlacha member. He says, if I can do it, anyone can. We were both at a wedding last night. When I bothered him that he hasn't done today's daf, as you can see from the picture this morning, I see he texting me at 2 a.m. that he finished the daf. If you want to remember who's his son, Adir's son, this is the picture of him at the shir when we had that snake. What I wanted to say, says Dov Arabin, I correctly answered two questions based on long ago sugyas, surprising myself and everyone else in the shir. The questions were, what is a dus, a lined pit? And to explain the machlokes about selling, buying raw and buying yafa. I think the credit goes to you and your graphics from Bava Basra because those pictures popped into my head as soon as the Magid asked the question. So thank you very much and keep up the great work. David Halpern, Manchester, England. Just to remind the Olam about the Shabbaton. So Baruch Hashem is going very well. We probably won't push it that much as it's mamish, givaldik. I do want to tell the Olam a couple of things. First of all, this is not a threat. Last year, some of the people sat outside of the actual hall. There's only a limited amount of space inside the hall. So first come, first serve. That's number one. So I know a lot of people like to push it off to the last week, whatever. Lauren, just read your email. You're gonna have to watch. You're gonna have to watch the response. So if you want to see it inside the dining room, chap a ride quickly. What else? There is a few people I spoke to said, but what is my wife going to do? There's a very nice program for women, famous speakers, including Jen Early. She's going to be speaking, Be'ez Hashem, and a bunch of other stuff. There's actually, because we're expecting maybe a few more people this year than last year, so the davening, we're probably not going to have the Ezra Nashim in our shul. We're going to take up the whole hall, and the women are going to have their own kind of kumzitz davening thing. It's going to be a nice matzah for the women. Babysitting, it's going to be geshmak. The Masechta, for the safe and speedy return of all the hostages. Parnassa B'revach Zechrya ben Chaya bas Yosef. Parnassa Kidnovations LLC in honor of my uncle Rebbitzen Pressman and Fishel. Should be zechus for Akiva Simcha Ben Fayga, a shidduch for Rivka Yehudit Chaya, and thank you to Rebbitzen Stefansky for selflessly giving up her husband for the klal. It should be a zechus for a year filled with Mazel, Bracha, hatzlacha, Parnassa B'revach and Refuah. Parnassa Chodesh, renewed, Yishkoyach. Yosef and Chaya Sara for Parnassa B'revach. Parnassa Shavua, for Shelaima for Yosef, Chaim, Shmuel ben Alte from his grateful family. Thank you for keeping it real. No hats in the shir.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Because he's blocking in this. Of course. I know. I chap. Shkoyach.
That's great.
Yeah. I got it.
That's what happened.
Everybody knows. No, I get it. I chap. I was laughing inside. It was an inside joke for myself. Like, he's mamish makvid no. I know. Yosef Chaya, sorry for Parnassa B'revach. Parnassa B'revach and Refuah for Yosef Chaim Shmuel Ben Alte from his grateful family. Parnassa Yoim Ben Chana Wahrhaftig, in honor of our father and in-laws Yossi Kelman's Yortzeit. Yosef Yishai David Ben Yaakov Mordechai and Shom should have an aliyah. Parnassa Yoim Moshe and Shana Kravitz Lili Nishmas Leibas Shmuel Ha Kohen. Olav Shalom on her Yortzeit. Olav Shalom on her Yortzeit. No, so Nachmal. Moshe Shana Kravitz Lili Nishmas Leibas Shmuel Ha Kohen Olav Shalom on her Yortzeit. Mixed up letters. Josh Solomon, Lili Nishma, my grandfather, Levi Zev Ben Simcha Shlomo Zechurah Bracha. Art of the month for a zechus for Rebelli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many. Have a Shaila. We're learning today about a tumtum. That is an individual who we don't know if he's a zachar and a keva.
We don't know.
Right now we don't know. Right at this point we don't know. Everything's covered, and surgically you perhaps could figure it out. But at this point, we're going to call this guy tumtum today. Okay, he's a tumtum. Are you allowed to be misyached with a tumtum? Is there isser yichud with a tumtum? In fact, it's brought down in Shulchan Aruch the halachas. What do you think? Yes? No? Is it considered a woman and a man cannot be misyached? Is it considered a man and a woman can't be? What is the halacha? That's only one sheet of Bria B'fnei Atzmai. Huh? That's what you say. So the Shulchan Aruch paskins that a tumtum is not allowed to have yichud with a woman. I think Avi, you asked me this question yesterday. There's a halacha. There's a tumtum sitting here in the room right now. Not messing with you guys. I think
Get over here. And 9 months later.
I'm joking that there's only one. There's a bunch of tumtums. Okay, anyway, so the Shulchan Aruch says that it's also for a tumtum to have yichud with a woman, but it's mutter for a tumtum to have yichud with a man. And the Vilna Gaon is Goyres, he's Mishana the Girs in the Shulchan Aruch. He's Magia the Shulchan Aruch. That the Shulchan Aruch meant to say Asr. That's Asr for him to have yichud. So I'm a Gronik, I have a problem with yichud with other tumtumim. With tumtum, with a single tumtum, yes. Okay. Now, another question is there a benefit, and is it a good thing for a wife to have a girl as her first child?
Yes.
You had one, so you know that everybody came and was menachem you. The Shteitin Gemara, don't worry about it. Yeah, what is it?
The best thing you can do.
Oh, why?
Because not in your case. Not in your case.
Has the time out. My son, my bchar, I thought he's crazy. He's like, I want a girl first. I want a girl no matter what I want. And he got his wish.
Yeah, no, it's very good because
Why?
they help you. They help the wife, right? So if it's a boy first, nobody helping in the house. The girl's helping the wife run the house.
That's
also,
how it happened with you?
In general, that's the way it works.
Yeah.
Also, because usually girls, not in your case, they go away, but girls usually stay closer to the house. So that ends up being the wife has somebody, instead of the boys running away, the wife has somebody nearby. Nearby. That's
another pshat.
Two reasons.
Okay, so it's in the Gemara. No, the Gemara talks about it. We'll insert it.
Okay.
We'll have the new.
On the side, the Ramban.
No, the new MDY Gemara is going to have your. All right. By the way, I forgot. Stam Rabbi Gedali's Ladowitz is coming to visit me today. He's coming to. Okay. Maybe somebody has a aura, something. So we're holding Daf Kuf Mem Amud Beis, 7 lines from the bottom. We learned in the Mishnah, just to repeat what we learned that if Hiniach Banim U'Banois V'Tumtum, a person has a boy, girl, and a tumtum, Bizman Shana Chasim Merubin has. I'm looking in the Mishnah. When there's enough Yerusha, hascharim doichin oisay etzel nekevais. This tumtum wants to get some of the real estate, the geshma, the cash. They say, no. You go to the girls. You're from the girls section. Go over there. We'll give you sandwiches. We'll support you like we support the girls. Nechasim muatim. And if there's not, in other words, he loses out. And if there's not a lot of nechasim, then hanekevais doichis etzel ascharim. Then the nekevais say, listen, there's not enough for the sandwiches. You're a boy now. Boy gets real estate. Unfortunately, you don't get real estate because there's no real estate. There's only sandwiches, and we don't want to share the sandwiches. So Yoshi did something like this, just as to understand the sugya. Versteht, here we go. Each side is doichet to the other side. Okay. So zok the Gemara. Doichin oisai v'shakel kebas. It seems like the boys say, look, we're not giving you any of the real Yerusha, we'll give you sandwiches. V'shakel kebas, he gets at least a sandwich. But the problem is, Oktani Seif, it says in the Mishnah, Yolda tumtum, if she gives birth to a tumtum, einay naito. He doesn't get anything. Why? Because the explanation is, because it's a bria b'fnei atzma. We have to explain the Mishnah. Why don't you get anything? So at least he's a girl. No, he's not a girl. He's a new bria, something new. He's a garnished efes. He gets zero. So says the Gemara, Omar Abaya, doichin oisai vein loi. Not pshat that the boys push him off to the girls and he gets sandwiches with the girls. The boys push him off to the girls and he gets nothing. He doesn't get the real Yerusha and he doesn't even get sandwiches. Rav Omar, doichin oisai v'yesh loi. Rav says no. They push him off from the real Yerusha, but the bare minimum of Parnassa he gets. So then we have a big problem. What would we do with the Sefer? The Sefer says he's a bria b'fnei atzma, he doesn't get anything. You're right. The Sefer does say that, but that's a new shita. There's two shitas. There's a machlokes in the Mishnah. The first part of the Mishnah says he's not a bria b'fnei atzma. We just don't know what he is. He's either a boy or girl. So the boys could say, listen, we're not giving you the real Yerusha, but we'll give you the lesser. But the Sefer Salar of Shimon Gamliel, but the Sefer goes according to Shimon Gamliel that he holds that a tumtum is a bria b'fnei atzma. It's a third category. They have that, if anybody is in America and then filling out documents today, male, female, other. That's it, right over here. Yolda, tumtum, androgynous. There's probably like 6 other things, but you know what I mean. Yolda, tumtum, androgynous. Oh, so what's the story over here? Gishmaka story. A guy has a cow. Cow is very pregnant, about to give birth. The guy says, oive, if it's a boy, if it's a male, I should say, if it's a male, then I'm going to have to give it as a b'char. It's worthless to me. So what do I want to do? I anyway have to bring an oila to the Beis Hamikdash. Let's say it's a goat, it's a sheep, pregnant sheep. I have to bring an oila anyway. I'm chayav oila. So if this animal gives birth to a male, that should be my oila. A b'char only becomes a b'char when? As it's born. Peterechem, like when it comes out. But it's too late. As it came out, it's an oila. Oila came before the b'char. So it's not a b'char. I gain. If it's a female, I'll make it a shlamim. And to his great mazel, out comes a tumtum. Nishtahin and nishtahar. So what does Reb Shimon Gamliel say? Ein gedusha chal aleim. There's zero gedusha. Why? Because it's a bria b'fnei atzma. It's its own category. He said if it's a male, it's a oila. If it's a female, it's a shlamim. And out came a non-male female. It's in between. It's a tumtum. So the Sefer goes like Reb Shimon Gamliel. The Reisha goes according to another shita that says that a tumtum is not a bria b'fnei atzma. That's why he gets sustenance. He gets the parnasa. Meisvei tumtum yorish keben v'nizan kibas. So this is a riddle. It says a tumtum gets the real estate like a son, and also the sandwich is like a daughter. How could that be? Like double dipping, he gets more than a boy, more than a girl. We could explain it away. What does it mean? That when he comes to grab his real estate, they kick him out, they say, get out of here. So it's not Yoirish Keben, it's really Ein Yoirish Keben. Yeah? You see the Lashon over here? Yoirish Keben means he does inherit like a son when there's very few nechasim, meaning he gets 0. So it's not the word Yoirish is not so great over here. It should be Ein Yoirish. V'nizon kebaz b'nechasim rubim. Oh, if there's $20 million worth of assets, and the girls get $120 worth of sandwiches, then he's like a daughter. We give him sandwiches. Okay. So according to Rav, I can understand this statement, that Tumtum is like a son and he's like a daughter. He's like a son that he doesn't get the Yerusha when there's Nechasim Watim. He's like a daughter that he gets sandwiches. What does it mean? According to Abaya, that says that we push him off. When he comes to the sons, we tell him, sorry, no real estate. And Abaya says, we said, get out of here. Not only do you not get real estate, you don't get sandwiches. You get 0. It's Rava who says that he gets sandwiches, but according to Abaya, he gets 0. So my knees and kibas. What does it mean in the Brisa that he gets mezainis? He doesn't get anything. By the way, I just want to Kuf Mem Aleph, 140 daf into Bava Basra. You hear what's going on here? 140. It's unbelievable. The power of Daf Yomi. It goes by like a dream. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Robert, who's sitting next to you? Hi.
I'm Simcha Firestone's friend from Boca Raton.
My
name's Jonathan Gritzman.
Jonathan Gritzman from my Boca Raton. Yeah, Mamish, your accent is exactly a Boca Raton. You're from South Africa, who moved to Boca Raton 2 years ago? 20 years ago.
20-something years ago.
Wow. You're holding strong with that accent. I was in Chicago for 1.5 years and I spoke like a Chicagoan.
It's a battle, but every day I work at it.
Oh, good. Good for you. Keep it up. Yishma. Okay. Givaldi. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name all the way in the back?
Hirsch Camaro.
Hirsch
Camaro.
Camaro from?
Silver Spring, Maryland.
Silver Spring, Maryland. Shalom Aleichem. Welcome.
Just came, have an apartment.
You made Aliyah, you just have an apartment.
Working on it.
Givaldi. Okay. This is the place to be. You came to the right place. Okay. Simcha Firestone's friend. That's your friend, no? Mendy Auerbach's his friend also. He's schmoozing already. Okay. Let me ask you something. What's with Simcha Firestone and his South African friends? Because Mendy Auerbach is also South African. And they're very good friends.
He just happens to hang out with the wrong crowd.
Hangs out with the wrong crowd. Givaldi. Okay. Excellent. Don't give up that sense of humor over there in Boca Raton. Okay. Boca. Weiter. What's the name of that rabbi? Brody. Rabbi Brody. No, he does it also.
Rabbi from Goldberg.
Rabbi from Goldberg and Rabbi Brody. But Rabbi Brody does it every day, no? He does the daf every day with us. You don't know? Okay, whatever. Zog the Gemara. Ultamech. Still holding on the top. So again, the lashon that I pointed out before, that he gets Yerusha like a son. We said he doesn't get Yerusha. We push him away. Ella, what's the pshat? He could technically get, but the other brothers, they kick him out. So that's what Abaye meant. He could get a sandwich. He should get a sandwich, but the girls say, no, thank you. Go back. They play ping pong with him. Okay, new sugya. 3 lines from the top of Kuf Mem Aleph Amud Aleph. So, you all remember the little video that we showed. Guy says, if my wife gives birth to a male, I'll give him $100. And if he gives birth to a female, I'll give her $200. Seems like it's better to have a female. Why is he all excited? Why would the Mishnah use an example like that? If there's a girl, it's 200. If there's a boy, 100. Should be the reverse, no? A lot of us will say the reverse. My son and Reb Nachman Seltzer, they agree with this. But what's pshat? What's normal? What do most people want first? A boy, a girl? V'omar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Yochanan says in the name of Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, we have this many times in Shas. Rabbi Yochanan never saw Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. He's not really a Talmud unless you say he lived 400 years, a whole Maisa. But Mishum usually means he's saying he heard over from Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. The famous Gemara that we had in this Masechta, everybody was shocked, right? Did I ask, is there anybody in this room that only has girls? How many girls, B'lei Hara? 2. And you have 1. Who else? So you, how many? 4 girls. I'm going to have to ask you to leave for 2 minutes. Kol she'ein miniach ben liyarshai, HaKadosh Baruch Hu malay alav evra. It's really...
If your daughters have boys, you can catch.
Maybe.
That's one shita.
One shita. That's in the new Gemara, in the new MDY version.
Listen, it doesn't make a difference.
Okay, miniach. It could be. If a person only has girls, according to this one shita, Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, there's a reason why you haven't been to Reb Shimon Bar Yochai's cave in the last 10 years. HaKadosh Baruch Hu malay alav evra. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is upset at him. It's a sign that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is upset. Shenemar v'havartem is nachlasa lebitoi. It should have said, what should it say in the pasuk? It should say, here's the pasuk. First, you should give it to a son, and then afterwards, give it to the daughter. But what the word v'havartem is a little interesting. It should say unesatem. That's typical lashon kodesh. Unesatem is what's v'havartem? You should skip over v'havartem, pass it over. So v'havartem, says the Gemara, ve'ein havara elo evra. It comes from a lashon of anger. Shenemar yom evra yom ahu. Okay, so if you see that it's better to have a boy, girls are associated with Hashem's anger. So why are you giving 200 for the girl? Says the Gemara, le'in Yerusha ben adiflei. No, when it comes to Yerusha, certainly in this whole pasuk of v'havartem, a man wants his nechasim, his estate, to remain within the family's name, son after son. He doesn't want, if he has a choice, he doesn't want it to go over to the son-in-law and to a different family completely. However, but to make sure that if you have 2 children, who are you more concerned about, Parnassa-wise? You're more concerned about your daughter. Your son will take care of himself. He'll get a job, especially in those days. It's the women that we have to care about. So a father would rather give cash to his daughter, double up the cash to his daughter, make sure that she's doing okay. We're talking about that this woman, this is the first time she's giving birth. It's great to have a daughter first. It's a good sign for all the sons that are going to come later. Why? There's people there scratching their heads. I never knew this. I thought it's good to have a b'char. I wanted a b'char, pidyon aben, shom zachar, the bris, the whole thing. Over here the Gemara says, why? Shot number 1, like Reb Nachman said, the mirabi lachel. Here, she'll take care. She takes care of the brother. She babysits. She helps out at home. Especially, you see these families with 14 children. The mother's nowhere to be found. She's in the hospital with the other child, whatever. It's the children are taking care of the children. The 5-year-old has like 4 or 5 kids with them, crossing the streets, traffic, hold on. You see a whole thing, going to the makolet. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Everybody says yes. Ain't a bisha. There's no ayin hara. No. So you had a girl. Shmak. I had a boy. I had the whole ben thing and the this and that. One suit after another. That's you could have a ayin hara. Yeah, no, you had a girl. The Marsha says, interesting that the ayin hara is talking about when the father dies, then there's no jealousy between the siblings. Why do you get 2 portions? There could be jealousy to the b'char. So that's no ayin bisha. It's better that there should be shalom. Here, it's a good yesod for Yerusha in general, and I think a lot of people are makbid it. We spoke about it to divide it up equally. I'm a big talker because, my father sits and learns all day, and he goes from apartment to apartment. So I'm not sure that he has nechasim, so I'm a vater on my second portion. Lachar me'ev esrim. Lu Yitzuyur, my father's worth $200 million. I don't know that I would Rabbi say divided up equally. No. Okay. Says the Gemara, Omer Rav Chizda, Yishmaki Gemara. Ulididi, B'nasan Adif and Libi B'nei. Does anybody remember the famous Gemara of Rav Chizda sitting and on his lap? He had his daughter. And his daughter said, I want to have these two men as a husband. Who are the two men? Who said Rabbi Bar Chama? Very good. Huh? Followed by Rava. Very good. So let's see Taisus inside. Right. So first of all, says the Rashbam over here. Says the Rashbam. You can see it on the screen. His sons died. Taisus says it's not true. It seems like from Shas that Rav Chizda did have sons, and then he says, he had the greatest son-in-laws ever, Rava. And who else do we say? Rava Bar Chama. So you look in Taisus, and the first thing that comes to mind, Rava, V'Rav Mari Bar Chama, or Mar Ukva Bar Chama. So you have to be Gairis here, Mari Bar Chama, because it's a Mefurish Gemara on Daf Yomi Amud Beis. The daughter of Chizda, she was sitting on her father's lap. She's a little kid. The Gemara is saying, how do you know kids have Ruach HaKodesh, Nevuah? And in front of the Rebbe was Rava, V'Ravi Bar Chama. It says before in the Gemara, Omar Lo, Man Minayu Bayis, who do you want to get married to? Omar Le Tarvayu, I want to marry both. Omar Rava, V'Ano Basra, I want to come second. Says Rav Nachum, remembers a lot. Very good. So, they once asked Rav Shach, how come it is that in his yeshiva, the yeshivas are powerful, you know, Shmuel Zofsky and Rav Povarsky and Rav Shach, but the yeshiva asked him, in my yeshiva, it's shvach, so it's not going so well. He says, because in our yeshiva, the Rosh Yeshiva picks the Magid Shurim, the Rosh Yeshivas. In your yeshiva, your daughters pick the Rosh Yeshivas. Your daughters, it goes by the son-in-laws. The son-in-law inherits the yeshiva. So who picked the Rosh Yeshiva? Who fahered him? The daughter. Oh, okay. Shkayach. But how about this? This I thought was interesting. Somebody once told the Satmar Rebbe, Satmar Rav, Reb Yoelish, yeah? He said, a son-in-law you could choose. A son you can't choose. So he said, Pimfaket. It's mamish the opposite. A son-in-law you can't choose. It's already decided. Arboim yoim kodim yitzir sav Vlad. Ploini is going to marry Ploinus. You can't choose it. It's a kol min hashamayim. A son you could choose. If you daven betfila, you could choose how good your son will be and what it will be. Azay zakte. Interesting. Zakte Gemara. V'boy yisei mohamani Rabbi Yehuda. This, why does it say that he gave the daughter 200 and he gave his son 100? Because it goes according to Rabbi Yehuda. We just have to figure out what in the world, which Rabbi Yehuda is this? So you go through a little search of Shas and try to find him. Gishmak. Hey Rabbi Yehuda. Mamish negeh to this week's parasha, next week's parasha. Eli Rabbi Yehuda the Bakol, the famous Bakol. What's that? The Sanya Hashem Berach es Avram Bakol. Hashem blessed Avram Bakol. So Bakol means with everything. Rebbe Meir Bas. It was so good for him that he didn't even have daughters. So this is a little machlokes to what we just said before. It's great to have a daughter first. So they explain, no. Avram was worried he didn't know who to marry off his daughter to. There's no available shidduchim then. There were only goyim. He didn't want a daughter. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Shahaisalei Basu Bakol Shema, the famous Gemara. He had a daughter, and her name was Bakol. Hashem Berach Zavram Bakol. So you see that Hashem gave her a bracha, blessing Bakol. It's great. And that from here you see what? That's why you give a daughter 200 and a son 100. What's the obvious question? Hold on, I'm getting there. But what the obvious question is, where do you see that Bakol, the daughter Bakol, is better than a son? Hashem gave him a blessing, he gave him Bakol. He gave him a blessing, he gave him a lot of camels and a lot of money. Doesn't mean it's better than. Where's better than in this? Now you're going to jump out of your seat when you hear Taisus Kasha. Taisus has a Kasha. If he indeed had a daughter named Bakal, so how come Yitzchak didn't marry his own sister?
Marry a Medrash.
That's later on. He's having everything. So, you hear the kasha? This is Tais, this is kasha. Let me show you the Taisus in case you don't believe me. In time, according to the Manda Omar, he says, the Ben Noach mutur b'achoisai, a Ben Noach can marry his sister. We see that Yaakov Avinu married two sisters, which is Arayas today. It's Mamish also, two sisters. He met. So Yaakov, what's the big deal? So one pshat is, says Taisus, that Bakal was too young. She was a Ktana. And how was Rivka? That's the Yankiv's kasha. And another pshat is that Bakal came from Hagar. He didn't want Yitzchak to marry the daughter of Hagar. So the Chassam Sofer asked the obvious question. I'm surprised nobody's jumping here. What's the obvious question on all these things? The Avos kept the entire Torah, including the Rabbanans, including Eruv. They kept the Eruv, and Eruv is the Rabbanan. So he should have kept this.
Yaakov should have also, no?
Okay, but Avram?
No. You can't. It's not a
Huh?
No, you can't say it's not a kasha.
Oh.
So ask it on
So
everyone,
they say this, they say about Eretz Yisrael, they talk about only in Eretz Yisrael, not Eretz
should have married
Yisrael.
their sisters also.
Okay.
Can't have. Everyone did it.
So one pshat that he says that once Yitzchak had a bris milah, and Avram had they became continuing shenoila dami. They're new, and Memela, it's not a sister. And then of course the famous yeshivish answer is that Yitzchak didn't want to marry someone based on a medrash. It's l'shita. He holds like the other shita. They didn't have a sister.
You can't marry.
Okay, you can't marry medrash. Fine. Zog the Gemara. So again, we're trying to prove why is it that a father gives 200 to his daughter and 100 to his son? Because look, you see the pasuk says Hashem beirach es Avram by giving him a daughter named Bakal. The Torah is saying that Avram had everything. He even had a daughter. Where do you see in the pasuk that it's better to have a daughter than a son? It just says that he also had a daughter, Bakal. This one. It's a great question. Think about this for a second. To give your child, you have a 8-year-old kid, you give him cereal in the morning. Is it a mitzvah that you mekayim or not? Is it a derabanan, a deraisa, a minug? It's the right thing to do. It's good manners. What is it? It's a mitzvah deraisa. Every time you give your kid food, it's a mitzvah deraisa. You don't have to. It's a pasuk in the Torah. It says, "Ume b'sarcha lo tisalam." Mitzvah deraisa. Think about it. You could have kavana, hareinim, noisim lachot, Cheerios, mitzvah deraisa. Yeah. Okay, but it's a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah. It depends also what age. The younger kids, you mechuyav at a certain age that they can go out and get their own food. Today it would be like 32, whatever. Kids are more dependent today, you gotta admit. It's not like back in the day, 6 years old, go get a job. What are you doing here? Okay, Zog the Gemara, V'sanya mitzvah. Mitzvah laws in the sabbanois. And if it's a mitzvah to support your daughter, certainly your sons, the Akiva Torah. Over here you have a kid, plus he's supporting Torah, he's learning Torah in Cheder. That's only Remeir. Maybe this says the opposite. Mitzvah laws in the sabbanim. You have a regular mitzvah to support your sons. But certainly your daughters, because you don't want them to be cheapened in the street. And mainly you see that it's better to give money to a daughter than to give to your son. That's why in the Mishnah it says they gave the daughter 200 and the son 100. Again, a riddle. A person has a boy and a girl. The boy gets 150. That's 6 dinars, 150, and then the nekeva gets 50. B'mai, what is going on here? He explained bimis saras. In other words, I have to go forwards and then backwards. Let me just show you if I show you what he did, it's gevaldik, and then you'll understand the whole sugi in 2 seconds. Here goes. There's a race. You see, a race, and here's the guy saying what happened. That if the zachar comes out first, he wins, then he gets 200, the nekeva gets 0. Okay, so remember, zachar gets 200. If the nekeva goes first, she wins, they both get 100. So the zachar is going to get 100 regardless. He might get 200 if he's first, but if he's second, he gets 100. Now, look what happened. Boom. There's a tie. We don't know which one came out. We got mixed up. Now what? What do you do? So the boy gets 100 for sure. That we said, he gets 100. So let's give him 100. Now, it's possible that he deserves the second 100, because if he was first, he deserves 200. But the girl might have come out first and she gets the 100. See, what do? Yachlaiku, rematch. I love that. Rematch. So what do? You take that 100 and divide it in half, and therefore it comes out that the boy gets 150 and the girl gets 50. Let's see it inside. If the boy wins, he gets 200. And if the girl is second, she gets 0. If the nekeva wins, she gets 100. By the way, I guess everybody's like, women first. The women should always win. And the famous saying, when do you see a man opening up car door for a woman? When either the woman is brand new or the car is brand new. Some people say that the daf is like anti-women. I don't know, like all the jokes and no, mutual respect. He's saying it's true. Thumbs up. Okay, give up. I want to tell you, I said this last night. They all looked at me like this, and then I realized they've never seen it before. Nobody's opened up a car door for a woman.
Brand new car.
They've seen brand new cars. There's more brand new cars here in Israel than in America.
Don't buy brand new cars. Nobody's buying brand new.
I don't know. All those license plates that have 9 digits, they're all brand new to me.
Brand new cars.
Yeah, okay. Zog the Gemara, the other didn't. I don't know. Oh, so if she, both of them, there's a zachar and a nekeva, and there's a tie or whatever, there's a mix-up obviously. We don't know which one came out first. So the zachar takes 100, but the other 100 have a moment Amud Beis. Now there's a suffix, and they divide it, so the zachar gets 150. But the sign the zachar and nekeva. So it seems like he only gets in a certain case 100, only, meaning he could have gotten more. As I said to Rashbam, you have to be medayik. What's the case? In those days, no WhatsApp, no. Listen, if you are the nicest man, if you could tell me what happened with my wife, I will give you money. Kuf Mem Aleph Amud Beis. The Sanya. Hamivasreini. I'm looking for this. Okay. Hamivasreini. Bamen Niftar Rachma Shalishti. If you could tell me the news. Yeah, there's people that tell the hospital, call us on Shabbos through a guy, this, that. I need to know what happened. If you tell me the great news that it was a boy, I'll give you 100. Yel the Zachar Noital Mana gets 100. Im Nekeva Mana, and if you tell me the great news it's a girl, Yel the Nekeva Mana, I'll give you 100, and if there's a Nekeva, he gets 100. Yel the Zachar Nekeva. And what if there's 2? Zachar Nekeva. Ein Lo Yel Mana, he gets 100. As the Gemara, why should he get anything? He never said if there's twins. Now what's the problem with twins? Some people don't like twins. Maybe it's a bad thing for him to have twins. It's a lot of work. A lot of people dream about having twins, but when you have them, it's like you're up all night for like a year. And then you don't know what schools and then the seminaries and which shidduch goes first. It's a problem. Twins are a problem. Sometimes. You'd rather not have twins. Anybody here with twins? Please step out for a minute. No, I'm just kidding. It's great to have twins. Oh, so, yeah?
He has triplets.
You have triplets?
Grandchildren.
So, time out. It says. I read a story. I didn't say it, but it said they came to Shelaima about I have twins. Should I go out with a double stroller, or should me and my wife go with different strollers? He said nobody cares about twins. If you have triplets, that's a problem. That people are looking. Shemayinar. Yeah, I'm talking about Einhar. So triplets is Einhar. Okay. So says the Gemara. How many kids B'li Einhar do you have total?
Yes, grandchildren.
Oh, you have grandchildren triplets. Got it. Yod zachar nekeva ein lo yela mana. V'zachar nekeva lo yomar. Now, if you recall yesterday, when I showed the video, let me show it again. And do me a favor, take off the sound. The sound made me a little nervous. Here, this video, real quickly.
Mazel tov.
He brings in a boy, and he brings in and he gets $100 for the boy, and then $200 for the girl. Remember? And what did I say? This video is wrong. It doesn't go according to the Rashbam. Why? Because Rashbam says it's either a boy or a girl. It can't be a boy and a girl. And then here, you could turn on the... If you want, you can turn on the sound for like 10 seconds here, because over here.
Mazel tov again. This time you have a tum-tum.
Okay, now you can turn it off. It's the guy that does it. He's Israeli. Anyway, yeah, of course. So Zog the Gemara. So the Rashbam said it's not true. If there's twins, you get 0. How does the Rashbam know it? From this Gemara right here. If there's a Zachar, 100. If there's a Nekeva, 100. And now the Gemara asks, but if there's twins, you should get 0. Twins is not a boy plus a girl. It's a different thing. I don't want twins. I don't want you to tell me the good news about twins. Says the Gemara, it is a good thing. He told him, if it's a boy, 100. If it's a girl, 100. And if it's a boy and a girl, twins, also 100. So if he went through everything, so what is he missing? He should just say, listen, whatever you call me up and tell me it is, I'll give you 100. Why is he saying a boy and a girl and a boy and a girl? Just say, if you call me up to tell me my wife gave birth, I'll give you money. Oh, Limuti Neifel. If you call me up to say that there's a stillborn, you get 0. That's the thing. Oh, sponsors Yishkoyach. Turning of the Daf for Cheshvan. For Kavichi family, the zechus Klal Yisrael Amen. And by Glenn Esterson, dedicated to Gilad Jacob Israel. Thank you for bringing the Daf into my life. Baruch Hashem. If you bring somebody into the Daf, you might be the next guy mentioned on turning in the Daf. So bring somebody in. Somebody told his wife, so this is a sugya that we're all very familiar with. Can you give your unborn baby money, Yerusha, a gift? You're trying to give something to a fetus. It doesn't work. That's one shita. It's in our mission that says, if my wife gives birth to Zachar, there'll be 100. Yolda Zachar Neital Mana. So it seems like that the fetus is Zaycha in the 100, even though he's a fetus. So this is what we have to remember until the bottom of the Amud. He's bringing our Mishnah that seems like that the fetus is Zaycha. And then he says, well, I don't know who authored the Mishnah. He's a no one, nobody, I don't know. We can't go based on this Mishnah. If you would tell me Rebbe Akiva said it, great. You tell me Rebbe Meir said it, okay. I don't know who said it. He's arguing with everybody, this Tan in the Mishnah. So now the Gemara says, but wait a minute, perhaps it's this one, perhaps it's that one. We're going to bring a few different Tanaim that it could be, and then it doesn't make sense to say, Eini Yodea Mishnah. I don't know. What do you mean I don't know? These are famous Tanaim who said it. Perhaps it's Remeir. The famous Remeir. What's the case? A non-Jew tells a Jewish woman, listen, I want to marry you, I'll become a ger. Here, take money right now, on condition I become a ger. Does that work? That's Davish Loy B'Loylam. You can't be Maknid Davish Loy B'Loylam. And the reverse also. I'm getting married to you on condition, Ivanka, let's say. I'll marry you on condition you become a Giyaris. And I give you the money right now. No, it doesn't work. Remeir says it does work. So the famous sugi, we had this a number of times already. When do you say according to Remeir? To a human being that's in the world, I want to give him fruit off the tree. Yeah, like this case right over here. We don't have to see it, but why not if we already have it? I'm trying to sell you fruit that doesn't exist. But the guy with the cap, he's alive. He is alive. The fruit is not alive. Over here in our sugi, we're trying to give something to somebody, to a human being that doesn't exist yet. He doesn't exist. Now, that's the whole Wade, the whole thing. Yeah, Roe versus Wade, the whole zach. What do you guys think? Is the Uber in existence? Is he ba'olam or not ba'olam? You have an Uber, let's say, 3rd month. Ba'olam or not ba'olam? That's basically the sugya. But the Rashbam seems to say, and he brings a lot of Rishonim, there are a lot of Rishonim that agree with him, that an Uber is ba'olam. He's just not outside of the womb, but he's ba'olam. It's like an apple inside the womb. Is it ba'olam or not ba'olam? You look at it 2 different ways. Rishonim say no, it's not. So ask the Gemara. Okay, so finally, we cannot say that our Mishnah that you could give something to an Uber goes according to Remeir, because even Remeir won't hold that in that case it works. Why? Because the Uber, the one you're trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Give it to, acquire it. No, I'm talking about, it's not bad, but the lashon of acquiring, to gift, we'll just use the one you're trying to gift it to doesn't exist yet. In that case, he doesn't hold that you could say Davar Shelo B'Layla. You could give to a person that exists, you could give him a gift that doesn't exist. The fruit doesn't exist yet, that you could give. So, V'lei Malei Rabbi Yossi, perhaps it's Rabbi Yossi, because Rabbi Yossi says straight out, the Omar, Uber Kani. Oh, here's a Mefurish man Omar that says, a fetus could acquire. It's not an Uber Poisel, Ve'eni Machel, Divrei Rabbi Yossi. Real quickly, because we're running late here. A Kohen eats truma. When he gets married to a Yisraelis, she eats truma. When he dies, what happens? She does not eat truma. But if she has a child from him, she eats truma. What if she doesn't have a child from him, but she's pregnant with a child of his? She does not eat yet. And what if he has slaves? If he has slaves and he has children, this is Givaldik. This you're not going to know. If he came just for this halacha, it's Givaldik. If he has slaves and he has children, so the slaves eat truma. If he has slaves and he does not have children, the slaves do not eat truma. What if he has a pregnant wife? They do not eat truma. But here, this is the halacha that you didn't know. What if he has a pregnant wife and 5 children, 5 sons? Does the slave eat truma? Why not? He does not eat truma. They do not eat truma. Because the child in utero is, the fetus actually acquires the slave a little bit. And he ruins the truma for the slave because he's not born yet. So even though there's brothers that are alive, the slave doesn't eat truma. That's not the point of the sugi. The point is right before. That the fetus acquires a slave when he's in the mother's stomach. So what do you see? That a fetus could acquire stuff. A fetus, if you give a gift to a fetus, to Uber, he acquires it. Look, he acquired the slave. Uber Poisel, he ruins it for a slave that wants to eat truma, ve'eni machel, and he cannot allow his mother to eat truma. He's not alive yet. Divrei Rabbi Yossi. And Shani Yerusha, haba me'ileh. Says the Gemara, no, but I could push it off and say, listen, a fetus could acquire a slave because the slave is a Yerusha, and Yerusha happens by itself. You don't need a human to get involved there. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't. But this gift that the father wants to give to the fetus, that doesn't work. Real quickly, I got to tell you the story. There was a Sara Mishpatim here in Eretz Yisrael. His name was Shmuel Tamir. And there was a whole thing in the Knesset about abortion, not abortion. He was pro-abortion. So Rabbi Levine went to visit him and gave him his whole thing, and he didn't agree. So he says, Rabbi Levine told him, listen, I know of a woman who wanted to have an abortion, and her parents brought her to me, and I didn't say one word. I started crying and crying and crying. And she saw my tears, and she said, okay, I'll have the baby. And you know what? That baby is you. That's what he told him.
And what happened?
And he backed off. That's the story. Says the Gemara, perhaps it's the famous Rabbi Yochanan ben Breki. We had a dozen times in this Masechta. The Amar Loishna Yerusha V'Loishna Matana, that Rabbi Yochanan ben Breki, we passing like him, we had sugis about him. That was that a father could say, I want to give this Yerusha ben Abanim. I want to give it to this son over that son. It doesn't matter if it's Yerusha or a gift. L'chayra, it's referring also to the fetus. That's not Rabbi Yochanan ben Breki. As long as he's available for this Yerusha, like a fetus, It works. Hey, when the Shabbos day not true. It's only to a son that's alive already. He never said his halacha regarding a fetus. Let's make a tziruf of Rabbi Yochanan ben Fayga says I could give it to one of my children, and like Rabbi Yosef who says that a uber is kaina, that a fetus can make a king. Who said that Rabbi Yochanan ben Fayga holds like Rabbi Yosef? Who told you that it's talking about a fetus? Maybe that it's a great halacha that I could give money to a person who is going to notify me about the birth. That's not talking about I'm giving money to a baby, to the person that told me I had a baby. So the whole sugi falls off. We're not even talking about a case of giving to a baby. It says if there's nobody there to inherit, he gets everything. Ibn Vasreni, if it's just talking about the nice guy, the guy that gave him that made the phone call, Yerush Mayavite. Why is it talking about Yerusha? We could stop right over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.